Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Alright, my name is Sean and welcome here to Watkins Glen International Raceway. Tonight we're going to have the boot layout making a 3.4 mile both left and right turns, making up 11 turns for Pro-Am GT3 racing here tonight. If you're newer within this IRPAS series, IRPAS of course standing for International Pro-Am Racing Series, led by the one, the only Dan Fendick there. Everything that you do behind the scenes, I appreciate you. And, well, going to start out today with saying I appreciate everybody joining into the stream. I'm producing, commentating here behind the scenes, but I like to shout you guys out there in YouTube land as the directors. If something doesn't sound right, if you want to see a driver, just let me know, as we have a great 40-minute long race. Almost you could call it a sprint. It's outside the car, it feels a little bit longer. Inside, it's going to fly by. 3.36 mile track, 80-degree track temp, sitting at an altitude of 445 feet up here in New York. 78-degree air temp, 45% humidity point. Partly cloudy skies with 2-mile-per-hour winds to our back. Let's take a look and see who slapped it on the pole this qualifying session. Well, that's going to be none other than Alexander Lucas, Adam Moan, Eduardo Vecino. He's racing in here today with us. Shane Wells, Timothy Park, also a newer name. Those top 3 drivers, matter of fact, make it top 4. Alexander through Eduardo are Pro Series drivers. Then Shane Wells, excellent qualifying effort for him in that AM Series, as he's alone up here, because row 6 to row 10, P6 to P10. Timothy Park, Michael Zugmont, Sam Bentley, Peter McDade, and Samuel Cruz, all pro drivers. And then we finally reach another AM driver back here with Franz Thurman. Just a little short, quick pace lap here. Kevin Schmidtke is rounding out. Looks like P12, P13 goes to Gale. Matthew Sherwood there, 14th. Lucan, Nicholas Meyer, Brady Waltman, Lee West, Ari Sitbon, Cody Durkin, Dan Fendick, and John Hicks Gunny, rounding out our field here tonight. And what perfect timing. Here we have a 2x2 at the green flag. It's a little bit later start zone here at Watkins Glen. Finally, here we have this 2x2. We're going to look 3x3 into the orange flag zone. Dan Fendick made sure to say this in the start of the race. There is an orange flag zone that we were trying to prevent this from happening here. Matthew Sherwood is unfortunately involved early on in the race. So is Cody Durkin. Orange flag. If you're newer here for IRPAS, that just means be a little bit more cordial at the start. Orange flag zone ending here up and out of the S's as we head into the bus stop here. Alexander, Adam Moan, Lucas Haller are top 3 at the moment. No harm, no foul there. Matter of fact, Adam and Lucas switching spots on the start of the race. The little bit more single file action starting to present it here in the back, in the further back of the pack. Here's Franz, Dahmen, and Gale, both AM drivers fighting out here for P5 in class overall. Timothy Park with a massive move here, both down the inside of Samuel Cruz as well as Sam Bentley. Two Sams in one corner for Timothy Park. Excellent pass done as Timothy works his way up to P7, just -1 on where he started here tonight. Here goes Michael Zugmont, Shane Wells going at it. And how hard do you fight if you're an AM on a pro driver here? It's a completely different battle, but you're still fighting for overall position. Excellent qualifying efforts here out of the 99. Shane Wells, keep it up, man. Looking all good so far after that first first corner fiasco. It started out there with Matthew Sherwood, I believe Nicholas Meyer, the AM driver, also involved. We'll take a look at it and possibly break down what happens here. Oh, this is 3 wide, way in front of Matthew Sherwood, and not just what we want to see here into turn 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different drivers involved. Lucas Breedlove is also involved in this incident, and well, we'll hop on and see exactly what he saw. Late on the brakes here, and then there goes the Porsche 911 down the inside, gets turned, and well, Lucan nowhere to go there. Jumping back on board with live action. The battle for the lead overall in this pro category. We have Lucas Haller starting to flash his headlights, and what happened to our leader? Where did he go? Have we had an incident here with Alexander as he had gone off the track and drops all the way back down to P20 while we were taking a quick look at the replay? We'll keep watching this battle play out here for a couple more turns, heading up through 9, 10, and 11, and then we'll take a look, see if Alexander's incident was self-induced or if he got tagged there. Heading out through turn 11 here towards our little short start-finish stretch we have, and well, here we have the incident with our leader who once was leading, now drops back down to P21 on the day. This is heading into the bus stop. Not too much grip or tire rubber on the track, and oh, just self-induced. That car immediately jolts back to the right. That was a save gone wrong, and Alexander Yaller here is unfortunately going to have to slowly limp this car all the way back down pit road to end up taking one of those repairs out of the 2 that we have available, and this is what it was like from his point of view here. Watch the hands in the bottom left. It happens that fast. Just snap loose on exit for Alexander. Not what you want to see if you are a fan of the 73 here tonight. You are a fan of great racing action. 2 Sams are going at it, both pros. Samuel Cruz, he had cruised to victory last night in our LMP2 night series race here live from the Glen. Got Sam Bentley also just a little less than half of a tenth of a second behind as Samuel Cruz here blinks out a little bit. Sam Bentley gonna look down the inside. Nope, thinks better of it, as that is a little distracting on the driver also up here in the booth. Also some great battles going on here. Dan Finnick and Lucan Breedlove. Lucan had that little incident earlier on, as now he's trying to take it to league owner here for IRPAS. Dan, I'm so happy that you're able to get back in the car now. I know that you've been out of the car a little back problems there, but no harm, no foul. We are back behind the wheel of this McLaren GT3 for the 327 as these drivers look 3 wide heading out of turn number 11. Somehow all able to make it work as Ari Sitman heads his way down into pit road. 62% fuel on these drivers, or on the GT3s here tonight, but this is a little early to be coming down taking that fuel stop here for Ari. Moen and Lucas Haller. We are about to see a battle for the ages. The battles are continuing to heat up, and looking at the sector difference between these two drivers, looking at 1, 2, 3 is just about to pop up as they make their way through it here. Well, Lucas faster 1, and then we got Adam there faster sector 2. A little bit of cat and mouse action here as we're going to approach sector 3 and see who has the advantage. While we wait on that, though, looking at Lucas compared to Michael Zukmont, well, continuing to run away. However, Michael just sector 3, closing that gap. And, well, Adam now running away from Lucas, but not visually. Here we have a 0.2 second gap between our leaders. You want to grab yourself a snack here because not going to want to get up at this point. Adam Moen, Lucas Haller, Michael Zugmont, battle for pro overall. No, Adam goes around Lucas, able to take that spot. Adam dropping down 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Keep going as he is just stuck here. Finally, possibly has a spot. Hit the reverse, hit the reverse. Oh no, you can't go on the racing line now. Watching that relative box just continue to fall. That's 2 race leaders. Were once leading this race, now dropped all the way back down to P20 as Adam's still there, not able to reverse just yet. Finally has a 23-second gap to where he's able to hit reverse. Oh, I don't think he's going to come down pit road here, but not what you wanted. This is what you wanted if you're a fan or just the driver of this number 9 Acura GT3, Lucas Haller. This is so cool to see because me and him, we got some behind-the-scenes actions, possibly some newer league stuff coming up. Stay tuned for that. But man, Lucas having a great run here tonight, able to take the lead away from Adam Moen as well as Alexander, as those pro drivers have both spun. Michael continues to inch ever so closer. Here's a really nice battle, a little bit further on in the back of the pack for Am. Looks like 5th in class. And it's side by side. Runs are even. Door quarter clear for Gale. Their way back up into P9. We're up 4 spots on the day. A really nice run. Really nice battle between, once again, league owner and Lucan. This battle has not left us since we have dropped the green flag here from Watkins Glen International. We're in the boot course layout, so a little bit longer than the NASCAR Cup layout. 3.4 miles of racing action, 11 turns, and it just is even more opportunities for you to possibly make a move or even make a mistake and have another driver end up passing you for position. Liking what I'm seeing out of the whole field there, except for that lap 1 incident. But except for that, keeping things moving and grooving. Here comes Michael Zugmont. He is 1,000 I rating lower than our leader, but continues to close the gap. Right now, got it just under half of a second. Bringing up the I rating as well as the safety rating between our drivers racing tonight. And A-class for the top 2 pro drivers, Eduardo Vecino. I would imagine there is a pro driver as there's no brackets, but showing B-class, but 2,000 I rating. That is no fluke there. Definitely takes the skill. And speaking of skill, my goodness, Shane Wells running away with this AM battle right now. If Eduardo Vecino is AM, well, he is leading AM. But I do believe, don't quote me on it, I do believe that 27 of Vecino is pro. So Shane Wells, man, continuing to keep it up and right on the back bumper of that 27 Eduardo. Here comes Gale, also another AM driver here. Got Nicholas Meyer and Lucan Breedlove right there behind him with that battle of Dan Finnick. Down the inside, oh, that got tight, but Brady Waltman able to make it stick. So far going to retain P9 overall. Gale now gets a rear diffuser full of Nicholas Meyer. There are battles all over this racetrack, and racing just continues to work itself on. We are a little bit over the fourth of a way into this race. I think it's time I treat you guys to it here as well, real quick. Here comes Lukin. Another move down the inside here. Turn one, slight contact. Gonna end up spinning Nicholas Meyer around. Dan Findick able to somehow avoid the spin, as right before we're gonna cut to a crank it up. Nicholas getting a little contacts there out of Lukin. Lukin heading up the S's here. And now I will treat you to it on SSN. Crank it up. I'm gonna treat you to the sights, the sounds, and to let these engines roar to life here on SSN. I'll be right back up in the booth. Okay, crank it back down. Sean Stan back up here in the booth, and well, excellent timing for it because battle for the lead here is starting to heat up. Lucas Haller, Michael Zugmott, only 0.7 seconds between them. Michael was a little bit closer earlier on in the race, but as the track temp continues to heat up, the track conditions continue to change a little bit. Right now, it looks like it's in favor of the Acura NSX GT3. As also Shane Wells is having himself an immaculate run, works his way up to P3, and overall still leading this AM category there. Man, what is the gap to the next AM driver back? If it's not Eduardo Vecino, which is just 0.7 seconds back, we're looking at about a 10 seconds. 10 seconds back to the next pro driver of Kevin Schmidtke, of course. The SVT Ford Mustang GT3. We can count on Kevin run this Ford Mustang just about every time here in the GT3 IRPAS series, brought to you by Fendi Racing as well as SSN. If you're liking what you see, be sure you hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell. It'll let you know every time I go live. And, well, if you subscribe, you have the ability to comment there down in live YouTube chat. You can root on your favorite driver. Tell me what you want to see. The list goes on and on. But I will tell you what I am liking to see. Is this AM driver of Kevin Schmidtke, number 17. He's up 4 spots on the race here today, and we still got some fuel stops that will be coming up here a little bit later in the race with 62% fuel. Math is not my major there, so if I am wrong, do not come quote me on it. But I do believe we should have some pit stops, and it's just going to determine how well are you able to get on and off pit road as a driver. Do you end up sliding through your box and possibly losing just a valuable second or two? Because that could be what it all comes down to between this battle for the lead overall. And speaking of lead, well, cutting back to P2 and AM, here's a really nice side-by-side battle going up into the toe of the boot. I believe this is Brady Waltzman down the inside, makes it stick over Lucan. But Lucan, it seems like every time we cut back to an AM battle, he is trying once, twice, thrice, continuing to work his way up for that 247 Ferrari. Matter of fact, the only Ferrari we have in the field here tonight. Keeping things moving and grooving for that number 247 Lucan. Newer name with us here at this, the start of the GT3 IRPAS Season 4. And, well, I was just mentioning it here. Here comes Gail, one of two French drivers here with us tonight. International Pro-Am Racer Series. And that is why we call it, because we have drivers from the United States, French, Germany. It continues to go on and on. Also some flags I have quite frankly never even seen before. Showing the Swiss flag out here from Eduardo Vicino. Eduardo, if you're looking for a iRacing paint scheme, or also just any graphics or even a YouTube thumbnail, the live stream that you clicked on here today, Eduardo put that thumbnail together. So much that goes behind the scenes in just every aspect of not only the broadcast, but the league, the paint schemes, even the front banners that you see, the Fendi Racing. It all comes down to just how much effort that these drivers, and, well, they're drivers on the track, but they are people, they're friends off the track, and in our Discord calls, week in, week out. And we're coming up on quite a few years here on the old Fendi Racing Discord server, and continuing to grow. I know Dan's looking at trying to continue to get this league upwards, 35, 40 drivers. We have 21, 23 call-its here in the field tonight. It's pretty special to see. Hopping on board here with Eduardo Vicino, going up through the S's, and let's take a look at the racing line. Let's see what Eduardo does here up into the bus stop. Does he run just a little bit closer on this entry to that blue guardrail wall? He does exactly that, runs triangle to triangle towards the band there, and then is able to set up the long sweeping carousel into, nope, not running it that right-hand course, running the full boot layout here tonight, going into another left-hander, just tap of the brakes, letting the car rotate, carry the speed and momentum down into another short chute. Looking at the back bumper of Eduardo Vicino, here comes Sam Bentley. This is a pro driver. Sam, he is now Gap Samuel Cruz, but looks like our final driver interview spot is up for grabs here in this pro category at the moment. Still not missing anything out here out front. I have put up the track map on the top right of your screen. Little blippies going around, and you can see that number 1 just now crossing the start-finish line of Lucas Haller, car number 9, but position number 1. Love where you're at here, Lucas. You're up a spot on the race. Started P2, almost had pole, just barely stolen away from you there out of Alexander. Alexander, speaking of which, is in a battle of his own real quick. This is Alexander and Timothy Park going at it. Both pros. Timothy gives him the point by going into the bus stop. Alexander possibly saying, I got places to be, as he continues to close the gap on Cody Durkin. But what happens here, Alexander? What just happened? Okay, before that incident, we got to take a look at the first Alexander incident when he ended up going off of the track and losing the lead. That looks awfully similar to what we just saw. He's already has damage here, and here's a better look at it. This was way earlier on in the race. Oh, we did take a look at this replay. I thought I missed it here. This is when Alexander was leading and goes airborne. Oh no, the quick little cutback there. Little too much of an overcorrection and instantly into that outside safer barrier for Alexander. But working his way now back up to P21 here on the night. Trying to get Timothy Park back is, well, we'll take a look at why and how Timothy passed Alexander there. Ooh, same corner that he had trouble there when he lost the race lead. Has to take a slow down, and that's exactly how Timothy gets that spot back. Although now it looks like Alexander gets the spot right back. Peter McDade, looks like he just was about to cut into pit road, but I think that was just a little blink. So we're going to keep things running here in the front of the pack. An Acura NSX, what seems to be so hard to handle, at least looking at Alexander's viewpoints earlier on. Well, we have two of those cars running P1 and P3. Porsche's running P2 and P4 overall, but really that's Shane Wells and that's other Acura NSX just now heading into the bus stop. I really cannot shout this out enough as he's had himself an immaculate run. Here we go, two wide heading into the bus stop. This is Eduardo Vecino, Sam Bentley, two pro drivers. Sam Bentley taking that spot away from Eduardo Vecino. Real quick, back here to Shane Wells. That's a really nice paint scheme as well. Black and yellow. That'll definitely catch your eyeballs. Got the yellow headlights on it too. Colors coming together here for the number 99, and hopefully able to continue to finish out this run. We are just 2/4 out of this race. A little over halfway to go. I'm going to treat you to another crank it up. Possibly one more at that 3/4 mark, and then I'll bring you live coverage here up in the booth until checkered flag. But until then, crank this puppy up. Sights and sounds of the racetrack are coming at you live here on SSN. Okay, real quick, crank it back down because a huge gap had just cut itself down from Lucas Haller. I could not hold this in any longer because what was just 0.7, 0.8 has now cut it back down to less than, right at about a half of a second for this battle for pro here tonight. If you're just now joining in, thank you, first of all. It means the world to me. And secondly, we have had two different drivers spin out self-induced spins from the race lead. Do we possibly see contact for the race lead, or just even more hardcore battling? I mean, think about it this way. That is what I'm trying to get at. If we have contact between our two front pro drivers, Lucas and Michael, we could possibly even see an AM driver of Shane Wells come away with the overall win. I don't think that has even happened in IRPAS SSN broadcasting history. So continue to write down these iRacing history books. Sam Bentley, which is ever so closely here to our AM driver of Shane Wells. Sam Bentley in that last driver interview spot, also for the pro category, still holding off Eduardo Vecino as he makes the pass, and well, gap is now just about 2.5, looking 3 seconds now between those two. Speaking of Alexander, earlier on, just mentioned it a minute or two ago, unfortunately it was right here through the bus stop. The car got, just did a little switchback, and a big switchback, and tried to overcorrect and just immediately just jolted in Mach 2 into the outer safer barrier. But it's not to say that the pace and the racecraft is not here, because look, Alexander fell back to what was P21, P22, and with these very, very fast lap times, consecutive and clean lap times Alex is able to put down. Well, works his way back up to P16, and that is just saying something on that racecraft. Is here we have Franz Tommen, I believe Kevin Schmidtke just pit in as well. As here comes Adam Moen, not this time by Matthew Sherwood, and Brady Waltman is our next closest battle on track, other than that front lead battle, just over half of a second. Are you pushing the car just a little bit too hard at this point? Are the tires overheated, or have you been kind of holding yourself off? Trying it to possibly save just a little bit of fuel, as we should have this one flag pit stop, or the one pit stop in the race. And right as I was mentioning it here, our race leader, Lucas Haller, heads down for his fuel stop of the race, and this is going to be interesting. Let's see how long this takes. I'm going to get the official SSN timer. Just kidding. This will be me counting live once he gets the stop. And it's crucial because how much fuel do you take compared to Michael? Because you were, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a lot of fuel. 7, 8, 9. We're working 10 seconds. Okay. That's a little embarrassing me counting out loud there, but it's going to be crucial, and I will show you right here, because Michael Zugmott should be coming in next time has about half the track to go, and if he takes just a little bit less fuel, he will be faster out there on the pits, possibly overlapping Lucas. But if you gamble a little bit too hard, could possibly see you run out of fuel on the last lap. It's all very calculated, and just how much of a gambler are you? I'm interested also to see if Shane Wells just 6 seconds back here in P2 at the moment. I'm interested to see if he pits on the same lap as Michael, or has Shane been able to get a whole nother lap of fuel out of his Porsche, excuse me, out of his Acura NSX. That was the Porsche 911, the number 911 of Michael Zugmott passing us there. Here comes Shane Wells, and, well, let's see if Michael heads down into the pits this time. Sure enough, that is 2 downshifts. You would not be running that slow normally out of turn 11. Hopefully no speeding penalty there. Michael looked pretty fast there coming into the pits, but with the pit speed limiter that these GT3 cars have, it's hard to get a little too hot into the pit entry unless you just miss your braking marks. Eduardo Vecino, Shane Wells, and Samuel Cruz all coming in here as well. And let's count this like I did here. 1, 2, call it 3, 4, 8, 9, 10 for Michael Zugmott. A little bit longer. And who is that taking tires? That could possibly be just a little... did Shane Wells possibly forget to uncheck the tires? Because what could have been, should have been a 10-second pit stop will end up being, I believe, 20, 30, even 40 seconds long taking tires. 25, 30 there for Shane Wells, so still losing a bit of time there. And we'll see where he cycles back out to, because that will close the gap down on that AM lead. Look at this, Dan Fendick able to save 2 laps. Able to get around a whole nother time for the 327. He's going to cycle out for the lead at the moment in the AM category. I will be able to bring up the pit stop times here in just I'll give it a lap and give the graphic software just a second to update. But in the meantime, Dan Fendick leading this lap in the AM category. Super special to see. I mean, look, pretty consistent, clean racing lines, nice corner entry, corner exits. Real life racer, has some time behind the seats, and some drag racing as well. Liking what I'm seeing, and we're just gonna have to see where things continue to cycle out to. If Dan does manage to get 3 extra laps on just fuel saving, that's you could even call it a spot 2 or 3 gained. We will just have to see once again where things cycle out to. Samuel Cruz holding off Shane Wells there, as Shane had that little bit longer of a pit stop, and we will be able to compare those pit stop lap times in just a few moments time. Until then, let's hop on board with Dan Fendick. Should be hopping down into the pits. Here he comes. Yep, 2-3 downshifts. This is what I mean here, getting onto the pits though. See how much time Dan sacrifices. Sure, it's definitely way safer coming into the pits, but you can definitely gain a second or two on your counterparts if you're able to jam it into the pit entry and possibly carry just a little bit more speed and time. Let's see if the graphics have updated enough here. Here's the pit stop time. Lucas, 42.8, Michael with a 43.5, so this is total time when they first enter the pit. So Michael with a little bit slower stop compared to Lucas, and I bet these drivers bring it up even when I ask them in the driver interviews. I bet you. Michael Zugmont says, well, I just missed it out there on the pit cycle, as, well, that is almost a whole second lost on that battle, and now Michael could be a little mind games getting into his own mind here, because he's now dropped the gap. What was, 0.7 seconds when we entered the pits? Now 3.7. I had mentioned Shane Wells' pit stop. There you see it. It was 10 seconds longer than, well, really 13 seconds longer. Was that Shane Wells? Possibly a little strategy call with some newer rubber underneath his feet, or was it just a, I've done it plenty of times, believe me, was it just a forgetful of an uncheck of the tires, so you unfortunately have to take 4. We'll have to see for the third time, I'm going to say it, so where things all cycle out to. For the moment in the pro category, though, Lucas and Michael cycling back out to P1, 2, Sam Bentley P3, Eduardo Vecino P4. Shane Wells still going to retain the spots in the AM lead. Kevin Schmidtke, 14 seconds back. Okay, well, Shane, okay, that could have even been a little preventative measure there. Just give me a little bit more grip and pace within this Acura NSX. Matter of fact, last lap time for Shane here was a 1:45.3. What? Okay, I'm freaking out because our last lap time for Lucas was a 1:45.4. Comparing the fastest lap times between the two, our pro leader in class, Lucas Haller, fastest was a 1:45.2. Our fastest AM lap time was a 1:45.6. I'll flash that up there on the top left. You can compare where your favorite driver, friend, or family member, yeah, there we go, is running and kind of what pace they've had. Lucas back here in not Lucas Haller, or excuse me, looks like Alexander, there we go. He has been the fastest car on the track for the last few laps on time. Matter of fact, putting down a purple lap, that means fastest car on the track, a 1:45.43 was the fastest car on track last lap by. Alrighty, minute 35 approaching, out of the 40 to go. It's starting to get good here. Well, we've had good battles all throughout the track. Lucas continues to lead, now ever so slightly growing the gap. Now, a whole nother second called it since we last checked it. Oh, the battle for pro, it was once there, now just separated by about 4 seconds, 4.5, and then, well, 7 seconds here for Sam Bentley behind Michael Zugmont. Eduardo Vecino also having himself a really nice run here tonight, the number 27 Porsche 911 driver. Just barely missing out on those driver interviews, though, as I do believe Eduardo is that pro category. Samuel Cruz, he has gained 5 spots from where he started out here at Watkins Glen. Keep it up, Samuel Cruz, as you had a great run out here tonight, the LMP, or last night, excuse me, the LMP2 Night Series. Shane Wells leading Kevin Schmidtke in the AM class battles. This battle is a 6.5 second gap, we'll call it, between the two. Shane, Kevin, Franz Thaumann also there as well. Just under 2 second gap for Franz compared to Kevin. And this is 3 AMs. our top 3 AMs that we will have in driver interviews if nothing else changes here in the final 4.5 minutes to go here from the Glen. Continuing to work our way down our running order, pro driver Adam Moem, 9th place overall, so that would be 9th in pro as well. Excuse me, not 9th in pro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th in pro, or call that 8th because we get the 3 drivers there in front of him, the 3 AMs. So Adam also having himself, well, not where he started the race. He's -6 spots on the day, but keeping it out on track for the moment as our one Lamborghini driver in the field. Cutting it now to Brady Waltman. There you go. AM driver running 4th in category. This is P10 overall. Liking what I'm seeing out of this McLaren number 63 GT3. Matthew Sherwood also AM, making that P5. And then Dan Fendick. Both these drivers, both Matthew Sherwood and Dan, having themselves an excellent run from the Glen here tonight. Matthew up 3 spots, and then Dan up 7 from where he started. Nicholas Meyer, Lucan Breedlove. Nicholas and Lucan also, I mean, this was some really nice battling that we saw not between these drivers, but battles of their own. Lucan, I know, was taking it to there. Dan now is running P14. I believe this is 7th, 8th in that AM category. Timothy Park right there behind in his very white, vibrant number 108 Porsche 911, running in that 15th spot overall. Alexander still in that 16th spots. He's gained spots back, though, after that early spin. John Hicks, Gunny, Lee West, Biscayne Loss is racing out here with us tonight in the number 5 AM GT3 BMW. Cody Durkin also running P20. Peter McDade, Gale, and Ari Sitbon rounding us out here tonight as those drivers have now taken it to the garage. This is Lucas Haller looking to put down John Hicks Gunny a lap as we have 4 drivers. Well, that's what about to be 4 drivers. There it goes. John Hicks giving the point by to our race leader, Lucas Haller. We should be coming up to the white flag lap as we just approach. Well, halfway to go this lap. Oh boy, what a eventful race we have had here tonight. 2 different leaders spinning out from the race lead, both self-induced spins, and track temps, they're pretty favorable for racing. So whether it was nerves, whether it was just missing the braking marks or your turn in, turn out marks, whatever it was, it's been so much fun to watch these drivers claw their way back up, especially for Alexander, working his way ever so closer here to Timothy Park. As what I meant to say here was Timothy Park is now working on AM driver Lucan, given that point by there into turn 1. Lucas Haller, we cannot say much about it though, and if you're just now joining us, this has been an immaculate race. We got some behind the scenes work going on here between myself and Lucas, possibly some newer league racing action coming at you. But for right now, this should be the white flag lap for Lucas. Just needs to take this car around 3.4 more miles. That will be 11 turns with a 5.8 second gap over Michael Zugmont. Michael with a 7-second gap over next pro driver back, Sam Bentley. Gaps are now starting to show themselves just 40 minutes into this 40-minute race. Finally, we are on the white flag. Just 1 more lap to go here. Sam Bentley still in P3 as he heads up and through the S's for the final time here tonight. We have a really nice battle brewing on our hands on this white flag lap. Here is Dan Fendick, Matthew Sherwood, our closest battle on track, just 0.7 seconds. Are these drivers is Dan able to get just a little bit closer to the back bumper of Matthew Sherwood? Take a look at I think that's Matthew coming down into the pits. I was going to say, that sounded like some fuel saving. Also for some fuel saving going on for Dan Fendick, but going to just crawl across the line there as, well, Lucas Haller is still on his white flag lap, just about half the racetrack to go. Dan, that was a really big lift there and to turn 1, given the spot to Nicholas Meyer, and could possibly be just trying to limp his McLaren GT3 all the way back around as I know a lot of these drivers are tight on fuel. Lucas has these numbers crunched down though. He has what it takes. Congratulations on Lucas Haller winning our first race here, season 4 GT3 class out at the Glen. Burn these tires down, man. You have earned it. Michael Zugmach will finish 6.5 seconds back here behind Lucas for P2. Sam Bentley will round out our pro category, our podium pro category. Sam Bentley P3, Eduardo Vecino P4 in what I believe is pro. Congratulations to Shane Wells. Will come away, just needs to solidify it here. Last corner, turn number 11. Here we go, Shane Wells, AM category win. Congratulations to you, buddy. You can burn these tires down. Kevin Schmidtke will end up P2 in AM category, just 8, call that 9 seconds back behind Shane Wells in that Ford Mustang GT3. Nice run here tonight for Kevin SVT on the front hood. We will be hearing from Shane Wells, Kevin Schmidtke, and Franz Thaumann there in the AM category podium finishers. Driver interviews here in just a few moments time on SSN. We're going to get the rest of these drivers called out, and then maybe a little ad break, and then those driver interviews. Thank you, everybody, here for joining in for this quick little 40 minutes International Pro-Am Racing Series. Dan Fendick's own Fendi Racings. This is going to be such a fun series that we have on our hands here tonight. Quick word from our sponsors. We'll be right back here on SSN.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back here into Sam. Before I get with down and victory lane with our race winner, Lucas Haller, real quick, let's take a look at these race results here tonight. Lucas Haller, Michael Zugmach, Sam Bentley, Eduardo Vecino, Samuel Cruz, Shane Wells, Kevin Schmidtke, Franz Thaumann, Adam Moen, Brady, Nicholas Meyer, Dan Fendick, Alexander, Matthew Sherwood, Lucan, John Hicks, Lee West, Biscayne Loss, Cody Durkin, and Timothy Park, rounding out our top 20 drivers where, okay, finally, I have magically teleported down here into victory lane where I have our race winner, Mr. Lucas. You got yourself a copy.
Yeah, hey.
Okay, well, I know that you quite didn't know what happened there on the lap one. It was, we'll call it a snowball effect, but for you to come around and pass 2 other drivers, whether it was self-induced spins or whether it was there on pace your own parts, that was pretty fun to watch. Lucas here tonight. Walk us through your race.
Yeah, like you said, I didn't get anything of the start except for me having myself a bad start, losing I think one position and then finding myself in P3. But then with consistency and I think a good strategy in terms of pitting before I hit the back markers, kind of helped me out to get a gap from Michael then at the end of the race because he was really close for 80% of the race. But then at the end, yeah, managed to find a gap, fuel save a bit, and bring it home.
Yeah, I was definitely watching that fuel saving too, knowing that everybody was limited to 62% of fuel. Lucas, congratulations once again here tonight, and is there anybody that makes it all happen for you?
Yeah, thanks, Ron. Obviously, you with the broadcast, Dan with the league, and shout out to North Racing for making this possible.
Definitely North Racing there on the side, the door of the Acura NSX GT3. It's always fun to bring them onto racing and even into victory lane. Congrats once again, Lucas.
Thank you.
Moving to Michael Zygmunt here. Michael, you got yourself a copy?
Copy.
Hey, man. Okay, well, thank you for coming and joining us here for a quick little driver interview. Walk us through your race here tonight, and congrats on the P2.
Thanks. Congrats to Lucas, of course. The race was good. Good start.
And
Pace.
was it all in your rear view mirror that you on that restart on the start of the race, or did you have to make some evasive action there?
No, I'm just watching in the back mirror. Everything. Yeah, pace was good. I try to keep with Lucas from almost the whole race. I hit the black markers and
What?
almost crashed.
Oh my gosh.
And that was it.
Well, thank you, Michael. Is there anybody that you'd like to shout out here tonight?
Thanks to Dan to doing that league, and thank you for you to doing that
Woohoo! Thank you, Michael. That means a lot to me, man. And hopefully you have a great rest of your night and also a great rest of your weekend.
Thanks.
Alrighty, with that, we will move on to our P3 driver of pro category, and then we will eventually get on to AM P1, 2, and 3. But right now, we have Sam Bentley. Sam, you have a copy, man?
Yeah, hello.
Hey, how are you doing after this race? Are you sweating? Are you just glad it's over?
Yeah, I sweat, and the first thing I did was fill up my glass of water and down it. Lots of beads of sweat coming down the side of my face while driving.
And walk us through that race start. There was a checkup in front of you. You had to get your left side tires into the grass, and I mean, at this point, in no fault of your own, it just looks like a snowball effect. It's kind of, it just gets bigger and bigger from this point on.
Yeah, there was a bit of, well, to me, it felt like the guy in front of me
Yeah.
kind of braked, but I'm not sure.
It looks like there were two cases of that, and then, yeah, from there, it just, oh boy. And then even behind you, what, 4 wide's not going to work into turn 1.
Yeah, I don't, because then I know I kind of did a little bit of a rejoin, and I think I may have side hit someone, but rewatching, I don't think I caused the bigger crash at the back. So I wasn't sure if it was because of the second hit. People were upset about this start, but
Yeah,
it was
when I-
position, so go back.
Oh, hey, yeah, I see what you're saying there. When I joined there in the driver interview, or the driver booth, I heard, I think, something about that. But, Sam, this was a great run for you here tonight. Great race in the number 37 BMW GT3. I think there are only 2 other BMWs in the field. Yours makes it 3. What was the BMW handling here like tonight at Watkins Glen?
Yeah, well, much better than I remember last time. I wasn't sure if I felt like I had quite a good straight line speed out of turn 1, which helped some bit risky moves into the bus stop and the turn afterwards. So either just a good exit or good straight line speed from the BMW helped me make up about what 3-4 positions in the end.
Shoot, I'm showing +5 on mine, so man, great race for you
I
tonight.
just can't count them.
Yeah, no, you're all, hey, it might be on my end too there, but Sam, congrats once again on the podium finish. Anybody that makes it happen for you?
Well, you make it happen. I'll sit down and rewatch the stream later. And Sam Cruz for being my rival, and Shane as well for his confident smack talking that I've now beat in chat.
Oh boy, here we go. Well, you may have won possible paint scheme of the race. I saw some Teletubbies on there, so congrats again. And
Yeah,
good
Nicolas
job.
Cage is the son.
What was that, Sam? Sorry.
Nicolas Cage is the son.
Oh,
Of the baby.
Nice. Alrighty, well, congrats once again, Sam, and have a great rest of your night.
You too. Thank you.
Mr. Shane Wells, do you have yourself a copy, as you are AM winner here in the GT3 class? Oh, what? No Shane? Okay, there's no way. Let me drag Shane.
Mate.
Oh, there he is.
Mate.
There he is,
Yo,
dude. I knew this.
up, man.
I've been waiting for this interview since I saw the
man.
gaps growing. Congratulations,
know.
dude. Walk us through it.
Oh, man. I left tires on.
I saw
left tires
that.
on the pit.
Oh, that. I was wondering why. I mean, I saw your car go up on the air jacks and 10-second longer stop, but you still end up coming away with what I believe, unless Eduardo Vecino is AM, I believe you're AM winner here.
Oh, let's go, man. I've been sitting here tilted, a little tilted at that pit
No,
stop, but
no.
now I'm made up. Sweet then. Good to hear you. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great after this race. How are you doing now, especially after that news? Don't quote me on it, though.
Nah, I'm good, man. Some quick races out there. Zygmunt. Wow. How you keep that pace for that long?
I'm saying, I mean, keeping the tires underneath you, the track temps were continuing to rise. My goodness, Shane, is there anybody that makes this happen, or you got a shout out here tonight for your race win in AM?
All I'm saying is this season, Cruz, I am coming for you.
Oh boy. He finished right there in front of you in the overall standings too, so I can definitely see it happening, man.
I'm coming. I'm trying.
Oh boy, well, thank you, Shane. Is there, I mean, any last words here before we cut on to Kevin Schmidtke and then Franz there for our last, or P2 and P3 AM drivers?
No, I'll let the boys finish up. Thanks, Sean.
Alrighty, Shane. Well, you got some broadcasting time here tonight. Definitely lots of on-screen car time for that gold and black Acura NSX. Congrats once again, man.
Yo, cheers, mate.
Kevin Schmidtke, the old SVT Ford GT3. You got yourself a copy out of the Canada.
Sure do.
Hey,
You
hey,
bet.
man, Kevin. First of all, where are you out of Canada? And congrats on your podium in the AM class tonight.
Well, I'm driving out of Winnipeg. Thanks, Sean.
Oh, hey, there you go. That is in my bucket list of places to visit here coming up shortly. I mean, can't visit all of Canada, but definitely Winnipeg, Quebec. You keep it going. But man, congrats on your podium tonight in AMP2. What kind of was going through your mind throughout this whole race?
Well, I thought I wanted to keep some pace with the pros and just keep at the top, really that turn one at the beginning of the race really sort of just put me in a race of my own. I didn't really have anyone behind me until maybe the last little bit of the race. So I just tried to keep the laps tight, keep the consistency going, and actually, have a good finish. And it just worked out for me.
And what happened on this lap one, turn one of the race as we hop on board with you here?
I think it was just the guys behind me were, like just typical. Some guys got a better start than others. They were getting down into T2. I think they got about 5 wide, and it just
They
didn't work out
did,
for them.
yes.
It sort of cleared the air behind me, and once the pressure's off behind you, you're just
Oh my.
then I can just focus on the guys in front of me, and I really just hung in there as long as I could with the pros, and yeah, picked up a few more as the guys were, the pros were really fighting for positions. A couple of times through the bus stop, I was able to pick up a few more positions, and yeah, put up a solid finish in the AM, and took a little bit out of the pro lineup as well.
Man, Kevin, I didn't realize how close you were to getting smacked twice and thrice on this start. I mean, the spins happened both right in front of you and right behind, and I mean, you missed this by mere inches.
Yeah, I still took a 4X, right? And I was just happy to have the wing on it. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, congrats again on taking your Ford Mustang SVT to P2 up in here in AM. Kevin, is there anybody that you'd like to shout out or makes this happen for you tonight?
No, just the guys I've been racing with for the last couple of years. Dan and you for putting this stuff up.
Woohoo! That is the
good
best.
times.
Man, that goes so much further than you think, Kevin. I really appreciate that, and I know the other drivers do as well. Thank you, and one more congratulations on your podium finish.
Thank you, sir.
Cutting now down to our last driver interview of the night. Got Franz, who finished P3 in AM class. Franz, do you have a copy? Hey, Franz, I just drug you up here in the broadcast booth. Is it okay if I interview you here for P3? Okay, I'm not getting a copy there out of France, so we'll cut back to that. But until then, well, unless I'm gonna respect the all privacy there too. It's just not wanted. So, Franz, congrats on your P3 finish here tonight from the Glen. I'm going to catch my plane ride home, and then later tonight, ooh, we got some oval action, some bump and run. Is that the ARCA series? Their first race of the season will be live from the High Banks Daytona International Speedway. Join us there for some fast racing. Until then, well, my name has been Sean Stam. I greatly appreciate every single one of you that has joined in here tonight, said something there in the live chat, or even just liked, comment, or subscribe if you're watching it this a little bit later on, as it's not live. Until next time, oh boy, this has been so much fun. I can finally catch my breath. Sean Stam up here in the booth. Have a great rest of your guys' night.